Alright guys, so I wanted to wait to make this video until after we got confirmation either that Jiren would or would not be Dokkan Awakening after the final episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode 131, which aired last night. Jiren did not Dokkan Awaken, so I felt like it was safe for me to make this video. We probably won't see any new units on JP Dokkan maybe for another week or so. I could see Turles probably being the next banner that drop. Well, the next banner with new units that will drop. Probably maybe around April 10th-ish, I think, is probably a safe bet because the anime climax campaign will be going until April 5th. So sometime after that, I do believe we'll get new units, new Dokkan Fest, things like that. So for now, what we're working with the Universal Survival Arc category is all of these units right here. And I kind of wanted to go through and show you guys like what units would be very good on the category and what units maybe wouldn't be as effective. Now, right off the bat, of course, Jiren is the leader, and Jiren is probably also going to end up being the best unit from this batch. Even right now, I would say right now, Ultra Instinct Goku is probably the best unit in the category. But after Jiren Dokkan Awakens, I do think he will take that spot. So obviously, like if you're building a Universal Survival Arc team, you have to start with Jiren, of course. And Ultra Instinct Goku is just too powerful to leave out. I also do think he is a unit that you don't necessarily need a dupe for him to really shine. Obviously, that transformation mechanic into, the true Ultra Instinct Goku, the mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, it will allow him to dominate, like once he is on the field, getting that attack 150% buff, as well as a great chance, which is 70% chance, to evade enemy's attack. He disables enemy guard, and he gets key 3, on top of already having like the turn a power link over in a flash and prepare for battle. So he is a very, very good unit. One thing I will say too is that do not forget that Ultra Instinct Goku, before he transforms, he gets a defensive buff. But then once he transforms, he loses the defensive buff. Mobile Man over on the Dokkan subreddit did actually run the numbers and did tests and determined that once he transforms, the 70% chance to dodge will actually mitigate more damage than the 100% defense bonus. So that is nice to see. Definitely a very powerful unit to have onto the team. Now, going through the rest of the category, a very strong unit you could have on the squad here is the AGL Super Saiyan God Goku. Now, while the SCR Super Saiyan God Goku, I would say, is a better partner for Ultra Instinct Goku on a Realm of Gods team, obviously the SCR Super Saiyan God Goku is not on the Universal Survival Arc category. This is the only Super Saiyan God Goku that is actually on this category. And then you look at it, attack and defense 80% when performing a super attack is very good. And of course, the fact that it's a buff when performing a super attack will factor in support type passives as well as links, and it will cause him to hit even harder and also defend even harder. So, a couple of the links that he does share with Ultra Instinct Goku, like, Godly Power, Fierce Battle, they will, factor in to this buff right here for a super attack. And I do think AGL Goku is a very good unit for this team. You could make a rotation of Ultra Instinct Goku as well as Super Saiyan God Goku, and then have one of the Jirens float. Now, if you're going to do that, obviously another powerful unit that you could put on the team would be Toppo down here. Toppo, of course, is a perfect linking partner with Jiren, because what Toppo has, of course, he has Torrent of Power, so that instantly will help you out with any key issues you might have. He has Shocking Speed, which Jiren also has. And then, of course, they also have Hero of Justice, which is a 25% attack link. Combine that with Toppo's passive, which is 30% attack and defense for super-type allies, and boom! Toppo is going to be bringing a lot out of Jiren. Now, eventually, I could see Jiren, once his Dokkan Awakening does drop and his Dokkan event does come out, I will see Jiren getting Fierce Battle. I think that's very kind of a safe bet to say that Jiren will become a Fierce Battle unit. I can also see this Topo awakening alongside Jiren, and maybe like, other Pride Troopers being released at the same time, like Dispo, or maybe an LR Pride Trooper somewhere around the time, some things like that. Now, I do not think Topo will awaken into God of Destruction Topo, because I just don't see God of Destruction Topo being a support type unit, as well as they were very clear that when Topo kind of, when he assumed his transformation into a God of Destruction, like, he did it and threw away his ideals of justice and all of that. So, like, I could see him losing links like Hero of Justice and Supreme Warrior, and instead, he will kind of have, like, I could even see him being an extreme type unit. That's what's really interesting. Now, Supreme type Warrior, is this... Okay, this was a link. I just realized I did not recognize this link. So this will allow him to link up with some Roshi and Jackie Chun units, as well as Hit. This is a very weird link. I guess that could bring us as well. So, but Jiren, or Topo and Jiren, could be very good units together, obviously. And eventually we could see Topo getting Fierce Battle. Now, Hit himself, I'm not a fan of Hits. He does get, like, attack 80%, which is fine. Disables enemy guard, which, I mean, unless he's in, like, the first slot of the rotation, that's just not going to be very useful. Like, the high chance of stunning the attacked enemy, all of that, just not a big fan of Hit at all. And on top of that, he does not even have the Turn of Power link, which really would make me just say, no, you don't want to fuck with that Hit. So that means the STR Hit must have the Turn of Power link. Yeah. The way it works is there's 2 Kabes and 2 Hits. One of the Kabes has the Turn of Power link, I think, and one of them does not. Well, at least the Super Saiyan one. Yeah, he did not have the Turn of... No, he does. And then the STR one does not. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of reverse, where Int Hit did not have the Turn of Power link, but the STR one did. And then Tech Kabe had the Turn of Power link, but then SCR Kabe did not have the Turn of Power link. So, like, that's a big thing, I think, when building the Universal Survival Arc team, is focusing on units that have that Turn of Power link, I think is a big deal. Because, obviously, this is 3 key, which is massive. That will make it so that you're not really going to have a lot of issues moving forward. While we're talking about Hit, we could also talk about Angel, Golden Frieza, and we can toss on Bergamo as well. Obviously, the Frost units, I would say, are fodder. We don't have to worry about them. But Hit, Angel, Golden Frieza, Angel Frieza, and Bergamo are the only villain-type units on the category. Now, if your Angel, Golden Frieza is rainbowed, I would say that he actually could be a strong consideration for this team. Now, he gets 150% to his attack, very high, 50% to his defense, which is nice, but super type allies and enemies get attack minus 15%. The entire team is going to be super type allies. Like, if you go through this, they're all super types. Caulifla, Kabe, Kefla, Kale, Ultra Instinct Goku, Jiren, Topo, like, go through them all. They're all super types. The only villains, the only extreme types right now are Hit, Bergamo, Angel Golden Frieza, and Angel Frieza. So, I wouldn't really recommend running this unit, but again, if he is rainbowed, I think the amount of damage he will bring probably will make it worth it. And of course, he does have that Turn of Power link, which will allow him to basically key link with, like, any unit on the team. And of course, he does have Fierce Battle, although I feel as though the rest of his links, Brutal Beatdown, Prodigies, Strongest Clan and Splace, Universe's Most Malevolent, Revival, those are not relevant links on the team, so that will hold him back as well. Bergamo, I don't really think Bergamo is that great of a unit to bring here either. I mean, he does have the Turn of Power link, obviously, so, like, that I feel as though that's probably where you should start in terms of building your Universal Survival Arc team, is looking for that Turn of Power link, because that's going to allow all the units to super very easily, especially because right now, Jiren is only giving 2 key from his leader skill, so you're going to have 4 key instead of 6 key with a double Jiren lead, since he's not yet Dokkan Awakened. So again, Turn of Power link is even more important. Not the biggest fan of Bergamo. I just don't really see much of a purpose for bringing him here. Now, a big option, like a couple of options that are actually very good for this team are the Kabe, the Kale, and the Khalifa, these trio of free-to-play Universe 6 Saiyans. Obviously, Kabe, you can get him 20 crit, so he'll have a 40% chance to crit. And then on the Universal Survival Arc team, if it's a full Universal Survival Arc team, he will have a 49% chance to crit. So Kabe will be able to do impressive damage. If you rainbow him, his attack will only get up to just over 10,000. But he does have the attack 80% when performing a super attack, which will allow something like Super Saiyan to be factored in at the time of his attack, which will make him hit even harder. Of course, he does have the Torrent of Power link. Another thing I should point out is he does have this link right here, Saiyan Pride. This is a 15% attack link that, just prideful Saiyans have, like a lot of the, Saiyans that were killed by Frieza, Bardock, his whole team, Super Saiyan Bardock's, and several Vegetas. I could see, as of right now, as you guys know, there is not a single Vegeta on the category, which is crazy. There's no Krillin, Tien, Master Roshi, Piccolo, or Vegeta. None of them are on this category right now. So eventually they're going to release, I could see like a Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, as well as the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta's new form, all will be in this category. And Vegeta was very prideful about Saiyans during the arc, so I would really hope that they would fucking give him Saiyan Pride, and that would really make Kabe even stronger on the team, because I'm sure that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta will be a Dokkan Fest exclusive, and he probably will be incredibly powerful as well. So we can move on to Kale. Kale is pretty solid. The only thing is that because, like, a lot of the relevant members of the category have the Torrent of Power link, I would say that a support unit is not as important as other categories it might be. Because, all these units are sharing this 3-key link, this 2-key she gives won't be as necessary. And obviously she does give attack and defense 30%, which is nice. If there wasn't the Torrent of Power link, I would say that this Kale would be like a staple on the team. Either way, for a free-to-play card, she is very good. If you are a free-to-play player, you rainbow her, or you want to run her on the team, she definitely will do very good there. The STR Khalifa, let's directly compare the STR Khalifa and the AGL Khalifa while we're here. You could make the case that the STR Khalifa would actually be better, because she will get up to 80% attack and 60% chance to dodge on the Universal Survival Arc team, whereas the AGL Khalifa will have a 90% attack and a 50% chance to dodge. So they'll have basically the same, like, if you add up their two numbers, it comes out to 140% for both of them combined between their attack and dodge percentage. So, like, if you want to go more for dodging on the team, then you can go for the SCR Super Saiyan 2 Khalifa. If you want to go for a little bit more attack power, you go for the AGL Khalifa. Now, obviously, because the AGL Khalifa is a summonable unit, she will have much better stats. As we can see, she has almost 3,000 more defense at Rainbow. She has almost 3,000 more attack at Rainbow. And she has about 3,000 more HP. So that does obviously allow her to be a stronger unit. And even her defensive boost will stack because it activates for 3 turns on the AGL one, whereas the SCR one is only for 1 turn. But if you don't have the AGL Khalifa or you rainbowed the SCR one, she can be a very good option on the team and a very defensive option on the team. At this point, I feel as though the only other 2 more relevant units to really talk about are probably Kefla and Kale. Let me quickly go over them, and then we'll cover any stragglers, because we can talk about Android 17 and 18 down here, and maybe Skinny Boo as well. Kefla is an incredibly powerful unit. If you have her, if you have Kefla, I'd say there's even a good chance you have several dupes of Kefla, because she has been featured on 2 amazing banners. Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren's banner itself was amazing, as well as Kefla's own banner, which was the same on Global and JP, where, it was a featured unit guaranteed, and there was only 5 featured units, so it was very easy to obtain her. It was very great to obtain her. She would be a great option for the team, obviously turn a power link, and she does, change key spheres, so that could make her, very self-sufficient. I'm actually a big fan of this unit. I was kind of lukewarm on Kefla before she Dokkan Awakened, but after her Dokkan Awakening, I think she becomes a lot better, and she is a very, very good unit to have on this team, especially if you have her rainbowed. Now, this last unit here, Kale. I believe Kale is actually the hardest hitting unit on the category. Like, if you have her rainbowed, she will output more damage than any other unit, which, I mean, it does make sense because she gets a 120% attack bonus, and she has a 100% chance to launch an additional, which has a 70% chance to become a super attack. So more often than not, you're going to get at least 2 supers out of Kale, and there's a reasonable chance you would get 3 supers out of Kale if you have dupes out of her. So she will be very, very powerful. She no longer lowers her own defense, so that makes her even stronger. You know, you don't have to worry about her defensively. The only thing holding her back is her lack of attack links, but, you know, with things like Prepare for Battle, Turn Up Power, Shutting Limit, there's even a few of those on the category. She should be able to super attack very easily. 12 key multiplier, 145%. Kale is definitely a good unit, and if you want to run her, she would absolutely work fantastic. Now, Skinny Boo, Android 18, Android 17, those are basically the last units to look at. I should also mention, yeah, obviously, like, Frost, Autumn, Megetta, and Potamo are complete fodder. Like, I probably don't even have to mention them, but we'll just briefly look at them before we finish up. And then, of course, the free-to-play Ultra Instinct Goku does have the same name as Ultra Instinct Goku's Dokkan Awakening. It's Ultra Instinct Sign. He only becomes, you know, true Ultra Instinct after he transforms. In the future, I do think we will get, like, a card of just the silver-haired true Ultra Instinct form, but as of right now, we do not. So Boo could work on the team. You know, attack 80% is very nice, and then an additional 40% attack and defense for 7 turns. That'll allow him to hit pretty hard. He might be able to tank a little bit. He can stun. The problem is that he does not have the Turn Up Power link. He does have Shocking Speed, which several units on the category share as well, but still, not having Turn Up Power, I think, does neuter him quite a bit for being in the category here. Now, Android 18 is okay, but without a Dokkan Awakening, I don't feel as though her abilities are strong enough. Plus, she's meant to be paired up with Android 17. Most of her links are with Android 17. And even Rainbowed, I mean, unless you're going to be nuking with Android 17, I don't think he's really that strong, which sucks because he's pretty clearly was the MVP of the tournament. They made the fucking winner of the tournament not a great card. I'm so triggered at that. There better be another Android 17 card. He won the fucking tournament, and he's not amazing. He should be incredible. That triggers me to no end. Fuck. All right. So obviously we got Megetta. He's just an SR. Attack 40% when facing 2 or more enemies. Trash. We'll just go ahead and get rid of him. Botamo, high chance to reduce damage received by 50%. I mean, that's actually pretty good. I mean, 50% chance to reduce damage by 50%. That's useful, but, I mean, honestly, if, like, they wanted to make, Megetta or Botamo useful, they would Dokkan Awaken them. Like, I think they could have Dokkan Awakened SSRs. Like, Botamo, if he got a Dokkan Awakening like this, he could be an interesting unit. Absolutely. Also, I should remind people that Megetta and Botamo are super type, allies. And then, of course, we have Final Form Frost. Attack enemies attack minus 25%. Trash. Third Form Frost. All enemies attack minus 10%. That's at least usable. But he doesn't have Turn Up Power. Wait, did the other Frost have Turn Up Power? He does, right? Hold on, let me click this. Final Form Frost does have Turn Up Power. Okay. And then First Form Frost is attack and defense 15% for all allies. So that's not bad either. But as you guys can see, none of those SR units are worth going for. So that pretty much is kind of going over a lot of the units. There are several good choices and several good free-to-play choices. So if you wanted to build a Universal Survival Arc team, it is relatively easy to do it, especially because a lot of these units have been on the same banners. So if you guys have ever taken my advice, which is always to save up your stones and then kind of blow your load on a really good banner, if you chose to do it on this Ultra Instinct Goku plus Jiren banner, you would have been able to walk out with a lot of really good units. But, alright guys, that will do it for today. Thank you all for watching, and later.